Hi there, my name is David Price Francis and welcome to Energy Worlds. Today we're going to be focusing in on the energies of the English language with a particular approach into anagrams, working with what I call the alphabet code. Now, the basis of this is the idea that with every single letter of our alphabet, there's an energy that travels with it. So when I use the letter A, we'll go A, it's a different energy than if I'm going E. There's different energies involved in the 5 vowels and in the 21 consonants. So when we bring different letters together to form a word, to spell out a word, we're actually introducing different energies to each other. We're kind of mitering them together to create that word. Let's take an example. Let's say the word star. You've got the S-T-A-R, star. Now, if we want to find out what that word is closely related to, well, we can actually use the alphabet code to make an anagram and discover that it says arts. So when someone is able to apply themselves into the arts, they may become a star in those arts. And that would be an example. Let's take another. I mean, literally, I've done hundreds of these to discover if they work, and they do. You take the word like endearment, to have an endearment for someone. Well, you use the alphabet code, you change it around, and it says a tender name. You give someone a tender name. You have an affectionate term of endearment for them. And each word is made of particular components. And so when you then review those components and move them around, you produce a different property that in some way is related. Sometimes it's the exact opposite. Like you take a powerful example, the word live, L-I-V-E. I want you to live. But you reverse that energy and it says E-V-I-L, which is evil. So we've got traveling one way, we've got live, and in the other we have evil. You can get the idea of for every creation, so there's a creation, there's an equal and opposite reaction, which again, it's the letters of the word creation, but coming back the other way. It's like taking Newton's law and putting it into a different way. For every creation, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If you're going to be creative, then you may also need to cut down on how reactive you're being to external interruptions. There's clues. So what I wanted to get across in this introduction to the alphabet code is that our language is alive, it's a living language. And although people use anagrams these days for things like crossword puzzles and the like, which is more of an intellectual exercise, underneath that there's a really mystical power and significance, which was very much part of living the life if we go back to, say, the 15th, 16th century, but it got squeezed out in the Age of Reason. I mean, would you believe, this is in the French language, but if we go back to around the 16th century, in France they had a court anagrammer. And that person's job was to take the name of someone coming to see the king and to anagram it to find out what was in the name. So if someone turned up and said, well, my name is Biden, let's take that example, then it would say, oh, this person may be a bit of a sleepy Joe. Why? Because his name by anagram says in bed. So you kind of got a correlation. I'm not picking on him particularly, just looking at the language, it's amazing what you can find inside it in terms of working with the alphabet code. I was looking at the name Elvis Presley the other day, and it says Sleepy Silver. So he's silvery, which is very active, but he was also a bit able to do slower, sleepier kinds of music. So don't underestimate the power of an anagram. And even the name itself, anagrams, it anagrams, yes it does, to ars magna, which actually means great art. And so this was something well understood, like in the time of Elizabeth I, in these earlier times, clearly going right back into say ancient Egypt, where they would work with working with hieroglyphs. There's a great deal to be understood about language, also knowing that language is always second principle. We use language to describe other things, but I think of the purpose of language, the original purpose of language is to convey reality. In fact, that's the anagram of the word, reality, the anagram is relay it to others. So not to then be dropping down the bar of language into more the advertising and the trade, but actually using language to endeavor to convey reality in the best way that we can. And anagrams are a terrific tool to be opening up the inner properties of words. So that's my recommendation. Take a few words, try it out for yourself, and see what you come to. I found it a fascinating exploration for many, many years now. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe, follow, comment, please do so. And I look forward to seeing you in a future Energy Worlds video. Bye for now.